What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners for today's 10-game NBA main slate, courtesy of Awesemo.com and presented by Superdraft. It's rainy out here in Los Angeles, it's hump day, and we've got 10 games in front of us, so I need that power of positivity now more than ever. So right now, please hit that like button. And if you want to win a free month of Awesemo Plus, like the video and comment your top value play according to DraftKings salaries down below. Nobody got Lonnie Walker yesterday, and nobody's gotten anybody right this week. So let's get it on track today, because I believe in you guys. Right now, like the video and comment your top value play down below. But you guys all know we've got no time to waste here in the Four Corners, so let's get right into our first corner of the top owned plays in Donovan Mitchell in a matchup versus the Lakers, in which there's 106.3 implied points for Utah. Mitchell has 34% expected ownership on DraftKings, while he also has 34% on FanDuel. With Mike Conley out, Mitchell should serve as the lead guard, but weirdly he hasn't performed much better in court time without Conley, with slightly lower usage and assist rates at 1.16 fantasy points per minute compared to 1.12 with Conley. And again, because of that Conley news, another top owned play looks like Emmanuel Mudiay in that matchup versus the Lakers, where there's 106.3 implied points for Utah. Mudiay is 28% expected ownership on DraftKings, while he is 16% on FanDuel. Mudiay is near minimum prices industry-wide, but he's a much less appealing play if he doesn't start, with him serving as the lead ball handler only in court time when Donovan Mitchell sat in their last game. And this next top owned play is really important only on FanDuel, with Frank Kaminsky in a matchup at Orlando, in which there's 114.5 implied points for Phoenix. Kaminsky has 3% expected ownership on DraftKings, but he has a slate high 42% on FanDuel. Kaminsky's price is far more appealing on FanDuel with Aaron Baines out, but with Czech Diallo back in the lineup and a slower paced matchup, it seems like a move to consider some other options at that price point. And now into our next corner of some of the top value plays on the slate, starting with Taurean Prince in a matchup at Atlanta, where there's 114.8 implied points for Brooklyn. Prince faces his former team with their 111.1 defensive efficiency rating and 14 plus shots in 4 out of his last 5 games. Another top value if he's in is Bogdan Bogdanovic in a matchup at Portland, where there's 107.3 implied points for Sacramento. Bogdan is questionable with his ongoing hamstring issues that have clearly limited him, but he went for 53 fantasy points versus Portland recently, and he's a solid value if he's active and functional. And our last top value looks like Jay Crowder in a matchup at Chicago, where there's 108.8 implied points for Memphis. Crowder's up and down, but he sees steady minutes from Memphis with at least 9 shot attempts in his last 7 games, and he could see rebounding upside, with Chicago also allowing 49 rebounds per game. For our next corner, let's hit on some of the other top plays on the slate, including once again Luka Doncic in a matchup versus Minnesota, where there's 117 implied points for Dallas. Luka has over 59.25 fantasy points in 7 out of his last 8 games, and he only played 28 minutes yesterday with 65 fantasy points thanks to Dallas's blowout of New Orleans, while tonight's game should be a competitive one that keeps him on the court. Another top play for me today is Spencer Dinwiddie in that matchup at Atlanta, where there's 114.8 implied points for Brooklyn. Dinwiddie has over 41.5 fantasy points in 4 out of his last 5 games, with a 65.25 fantasy point day in 35 minutes during that stretch. Now he faces an Atlanta team with a poor 111 defensive efficiency rating on the year. And in that same game, I'm also intrigued by Trae Young in that match versus Brooklyn, where there's 111.8 implied points for Atlanta. Traded down game last time out at his elevated price, but Brooklyn plays with solid pace and mediocre defense, while Trae has a 44% assist rate and 34% usage on the year. And now for our last corner, here's some of the lower owned dart throws I'm curious about, including Zach LaVine in that matchup versus Memphis, where there's 113.8 implied points for Chicago. LaVine exploded for 55 fantasy points against Memphis earlier this year, and he has over 47.5 fantasy points in 3 out of his last 5 games, with his pace up spot at home. And in that same game, I'm intrigued by DeAnthony Melton in the matchup at Chicago, where there's 108.8 implied points for Memphis. Melton's court time isn't the most secure as the backup point guard, but he has 2 straight games to 32.75 fantasy points off the bench, with solid 22% usage and a 29% assist rate on the year. And my last dart throw for the slate is Bismack Biyombo in a matchup versus Golden State, where there's 107 implied points for Charlotte. Biyombo has continued to start, and he has seen 26 plus minutes in 3 out of his last 4 games, with some risk that he loses minutes to Cody Zeller, but a lot of opportunity for Bismack if he's productive. So that's what I'm seeing so far for today's 10-game slate. So right now, please hit that like button. And if you want to win that free month of Awesemo Plus courtesy of Superdraft, like the video and comment your top value play according to DraftKings salaries down below. And that free month comes courtesy of Superdraft, because they are the presenting sponsor of the Four Corners. So right now, they have a special deal for you at superdraft.io. If you use the promo code AWESEMO, you get $20 free on any deposit of $100 or more. That is instant cash you could use on tournaments like your multiplier tournaments, a tournament style where you don't even have to know salaries. There's a lot of overlay too, so it's easy money for you guys if you go to superdraft.io and use that promo code AWESEMO for your $20 free. And with a slate of this size, you may want some more data at your fingertips, so use this promo code SWITCH and HEDGE for half off your first month of Awesemo Plus. Go to awesemo.com/join right now and use that promo code, or for our packages as low as $3.95 a week on there. So go to awesemo.com/join and choose a package that'll work for you. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I've been up since 6:30 this morning doing all sorts of shows, including our NFL strategy show with my boy Lofty today. So check out what I'm doing across the NFL and NBA DFS Worlds right now at Chris Spags. Tonight on Live Before Lock, you get the Chubster, Josh Engelman, and Fast City Fear, so tune into those guys later today. And of course, I will be back with you guys tomorrow for another Four Corners. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, good luck.